You're wasting your life and you don't even know it." That's what the stranger told him on a cold Wednesday evening, under the flickering lights of a downtown subway station. And those words, blunt, unsolicited, completely unexpected, unraveled everything he thought he knew about himself. This is the story of Ethan Moore, a man who appeared to have it all, but felt like a ghost inside his own life. What happened after that 5-minute conversation with a complete stranger will challenge how you see purpose, pain, and the cost of playing it safe. Ethan was 37 years old, a senior manager at a Fortune 500 company, earning 6 figures, living in a high-rise apartment overlooking the city skyline. Every morning, he dressed in tailored suits, ordered his coffee on an app, and smiled through meetings where no one really listened. From the outside, he was thriving. But inside, he was numb. He hadn't painted in years, even though art used to be his life. He hadn't taken a vacation that wasn't networking-oriented in over 5 years. His friends? Mostly LinkedIn connections. His days were booked, his calendar full. But his soul? Empty. His parents were proud. His colleagues envied him. But Ethan felt like a prisoner in golden chains. It happened on a Wednesday. He had stayed late again, finalizing a quarterly report he didn't care about. On his way home, he missed his usual train, so he sat down on a cold bench at Union Station, scrolling through emails that made him sigh. That's when an old man sat next to him, wearing a faded brown coat, mismatched shoes, and a quiet smile. The man didn't ask for money, didn't seem lost or unstable. He just turned to Ethan and asked, "You happy, son?" Ethan blinked. "Sorry?" "You heard me," the man said. "You happy or just good at pretending?" Ethan chuckled awkwardly. "I'm fine, I guess." The old man looked at him, with eyes that felt like they saw through him. "You're wasting your life, and you don't even know it." Then he stood up, handed Ethan a folded napkin with something scribbled on it, and walked away. Ethan sat there stunned. On the napkin was an address, a date, and a time. No name, no explanation. Just, "Come if you're tired of lying to yourself." For the next 2 days, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about it. He threw the napkin in the trash, then pulled it out again. He Googled the address, an old abandoned warehouse near the edge of the city. Sketchy, maybe even dangerous. Still, the curiosity ate at him like acid. Was this some kind of cult? A scam? A prank? But something inside him, a whisper he hadn't heard in years, told him to go. So on Saturday, wearing jeans instead of his usual slacks, Ethan drove to the address. What he found wasn't what he expected. Inside the warehouse were about 24 people, all different ages. Some in business attire, others barefoot, sitting cross-legged on the dusty floor. At the front stood the old man from the subway, now in a simple linen robe, holding a cup of tea. He didn't welcome Ethan like a savior. He didn't make a speech. Instead, he said, "If you came here looking for answers, you're in the wrong place. But if you're finally ready to ask better questions, then maybe you'll find something real." For the next 6 hours, Ethan sat through silence, storytelling, and strange rituals. He heard stories from people who had left high-paying jobs, broken marriages, abandoned perfect lives. Some lived in vans. Some were rebuilding relationships they once neglected. All had one thing in common. They chose discomfort over regret. That night, Ethan didn't sleep. His mind spun like a carousel of shame, confusion, and rage. Why had he lived this long pretending? Why had he let fear dictate his path? He thought about his high school art teacher who once said, "You were born to create beauty. Don't let the world talk you into numbers and titles." He remembered how he used to sketch on diner napkins, write poems in margins, dream about opening his own studio. And he realized He had betrayed himself. On Monday, Ethan resigned. No grand speeches, no backup plan, just a calm email that read, "Thank you for everything, but I have to go find the version of me I abandoned." His boss called, confused. His parents were furious. His co-workers thought he had lost it. But for the first time in years, Ethan felt alive. He started painting again, not to sell, not for social media, just to feel. He volunteered at an art therapy center for trauma victims. He backpacked across 3 countries, sketchbook always in hand. He reconnected with an old friend, now a single mom, and found something that looked a lot like love. A year later, Ethan went back to the warehouse, but it was gone. No signs, no records, no people. Just an empty lot with wild grass and rusted fences. He asked around. No one had heard of meetings there. The address didn't even exist on city maps. Was it a dream? A coincidence? Some kind of divine glitch in the matrix? He never found out. All he knows is this: that stranger didn't give him answers. He gave him permission. Today, Ethan lives in a small town by the sea. He runs community art classes. He sells prints online. He laughs more, eats slower, and cries without shame. He doesn't make 6 figures, but he sleeps well. And sometimes late at night, when he's painting under a dim lamp, he remembers that old man's eyes and whispers, "Thank you for waking me up." So ask yourself, are you living the life you chose or the life you settled for? Because sometimes all it takes is one stranger, one moment, one napkin to remind you who you really are.